They say even the strongest hearts can break, and Cristiano Ronaldo's has been shattered more than once. On the pitch, he's untouchable, the king, the machine, the man who bends reality to his will. But off the pitch, he has bled. Behind that perfect smile and those record-breaking goals hides a man who has watched love slip through his fingers. Again and again. These weren't just casual flings or pretty faces in his contact list. These were women who made him believe in forever, only to turn away, leaving him with nothing but memories that burn like open wounds. And tonight, we peel back the glittering curtain of Ronaldo's life, to tell the truth. About the women who broke the heart of football's greatest living legend. Long before the world saw him with Georgina Rodriguez, Ronaldo was the crown jewel of every headline. He was young, handsome, richer than most could ever dream, and the most famous footballer alive. Women from every corner of the planet wanted a piece of him. The public saw the flashy cars, the romantic getaways, the perfect couple photos, but behind closed doors, every love story came with its own storm. For Ronaldo, the path to true love was never a smooth road. It was a battlefield littered with broken promises, stolen moments, and nights where he stared at the ceiling wondering why love always slipped away from him. One of his first real loves was the kind that felt like destiny. She was not just beautiful, she was the type of woman who could silence an entire room simply by walking in. Ronaldo met her when his career was still climbing, and she stood by him when he was just another talented player fighting for his place in the football world. She traveled to matches, sat in the cold stadiums just to watch him play, and whispered words of encouragement when the world doubted him. But as his fame exploded, so did the distance between them. Temptations surrounded him everywhere, parties after every match, fans who would do anything just to be close to him. She began to feel like she was losing the man she fell in love with, replaced by a superstar who was never home, never fully hers. The arguments started small. Late-night calls he didn't explain. Trips he took without her. Moments when his eyes seemed somewhere else. Until one day, the fights drowned out the love. She left quietly, but her absence roared in life like a stadium gone silent after a missed goal. Not long after, Ronaldo's life became a media circus when he started dating a stunning supermodel. Together, they were the definition of a power couple. He was football royalty. She was fashion's golden girl. The cameras loved them, and every step they took was turned into breaking news. To the outside world, it looked perfect. But perfection is fragile. Behind the red carpets and expensive vacations were nights of jealousy, trust issues, and whispered accusations. Rumors began to spread claims that Ronaldo had been seen with other women, stories that followed them. Like shadows, no matter where they went, she would scroll through her phone, reading headlines about his alleged affairs. Her hands shaking with anger and disbelief. Ronaldo denied them, but the cracks were already there. One final fight, loud, bitter, and unforgettable, ended it all. She walked away, leaving him standing in the middle of his luxury penthouse, surrounded by trophies, but feeling like he'd just lost the biggest game of his life. Each heartbreak left Ronaldo a little colder, a little less willing to trust. The tabloids called him a heartbreaker, a man who collected women the way he collected medals. But the truth was darker. Fame had made his love life a cage. Every woman who stepped into it had to live under the pressure of being Ronaldo's girlfriend. Constantly compared, constantly judged, constantly doubting whether the man they loved truly belonged to them, or to the world. And as the years passed, one thing became painfully clear to Ronaldo: love for him would never be simple. There is a strange silence in heartbreak. It's not the shouting, not the crying, not the smashing of glasses or the slamming of doors. It's the stillness that comes after, when the air feels heavier, and every breath carries the weight of something that used to be alive but is now gone. For Cristiano Ronaldo, that silence came one winter night, and it would mark the most brutal ending of his love life. She wasn't just another girlfriend. She was the woman everyone believed would be the final chapter in Ronaldo's endless search for love, elegant, intelligent, and fiercely independent. She wasn't impressed by his fame, and that made her even more magnetic to him. From the very beginning, their connection was electric. She saw the man, not the brand. She knew the Cristiano who sat quietly with his son watching cartoons, who cooked late-night pasta in sweatpants, who sometimes woke up in the middle of the night just to take a walk along the balcony and breathe in the city lights. For a time, it was perfect, too perfect. Ronaldo would cancel sponsorship dinners just to take her out to her favorite restaurant. She would skip her own high-profile events just to sit in the stands during his matches. Friends whispered that this was it, the love that would finally anchor him. Even his harshest critics admitted she was different from the models and celebrities before her. But what no one saw was the slow erosion happening behind the curtain. It started small. A cancelled plan here, an unexplained absence there. She began to travel more for work, her phone buzzing with messages. She never showed him. He tried to ignore it, telling himself not to become paranoid, but the unease grew inside him like a splinter he couldn't pull out. Then one night, during a charity event in Paris, Ronaldo arrived early to surprise her, and found her in the hotel lobby, laughing with another man in a way that was not innocent. She froze when she saw him, her face draining of color. The man quickly disappeared into the crowd, leaving Ronaldo standing there, his fists clenched, his heart pounding. She tried to explain, but the words felt hollow. The argument that followed was like nothing they'd ever experienced. Years of trust, moments of tenderness, dreams they had whispered to each other, all of it came crashing down in a storm of accusations and denials. She swore nothing had happened, but Ronaldo's mind was already poisoned by what he had seen. He walked away that night, not because he didn't love her, but because he knew he couldn't spend the rest of his life wondering if she was truly his. But this heartbreak was different. It didn't just end in private. Within days, the media caught wind of the fight. Paparazzi photos of him leaving the hotel alone were plastered across every sports page in the world. Headlines screamed betrayal. Fans debated endlessly online, some calling her unfaithful, others accusing Ronaldo of being paranoid and controlling. He stayed silent, letting the world speculate, while inside, the man was breaking apart piece by piece. For weeks, he threw himself into training, punishing his body to avoid feeling the emptiness inside. His teammates noticed the change. He wasn't joking in the locker room anymore, wasn't celebrating goals the same way. At home, the silence in his mansion was deafening. The rooms that once echoed with her laughter now felt like tombs. Sometimes, he would walk past the couch where they used to sit together, and for a split second, he could almost hear her voice again, until reality crashed back in. The worst part wasn't losing her, it was realizing what her absence meant. She had been the last person he truly opened himself up to. The last time he let someone see the vulnerable boy beneath the armor of CR7. And now, that boy was gone. In his place stood a man who had learned, painfully, that in his world, love was never pure. It was always tangled with money, with fame, with the constant suspicion that someone loved the image, not the man. Months later, she reached out, a single message. "I miss you." Ronaldo stared at it for a long time. Once, he would have dropped everything to see her, to try again, but not now. He had been burned too many times. He deleted the message without replying, then turned off his phone, and went back to the training pitch. And that is perhaps the cruelest truth of Cristiano Ronaldo's love life. The women who broke his heart didn't just leave him, they took with them pieces of the man he used to be. Every goodbye left him harder, sharper, more guarded. The world sees the goals, the trophies, the glamour. But behind it all is a man who has learned that for him, love is the most dangerous game of all. And in that game, no matter how great the player, even the greatest can lose.